Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to another movie review. And this time, I review a film that came out a month ago, and I would say it's probably my favorite film of this year because there's three films I like in my top three, but I've already mentioned it's gonna be my top three, but I'm pretty much gonna say it's my favorite film this year. This is a film I was looking forward to, and I loved it, and that is of Disney's Christopher Robin, the live action adaptation of Winnie the Pooh, and I loved it because I've said before, even when I did my thoughts on the trailers, like I said, Winnie the Pooh was very special to me growing up. Growing up was one of my favorite childhood things I loved growing up watching, and I liked the trailers, and I was looking forward to seeing it, and I loved Christopher Robin, and starred Ewan McGregor, who plays Christopher Robin, and I thought he did a wonderful job as Christopher Robin. And I like Ewan McGregor as an actor as well, so I thought he was right. I thought he looked like he was a good interpretation of Christopher Robin. And of course, you got Jim Cummings coming back, voicing as Winnie the Pooh as he has been for like 30 years, ever since from the New Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, which I loved, and from then on, even though he voiced Tigger, after Paul Winchell passed away, but he did a good job of voice. He also did a good job of voicing Tigger, not in this film, but afterwards. I don't understand why he couldn't voice Tigger in this one though. But no, he had another guy who was voiced Tigger, which he does a good job. He does like capture the exact voice of Tigger. Now with Christopher Robin, okay, it's directed by Marc Forster, going to direct um Finding Neverland with Johnny Depp. Then he directed Stranger Than Fiction with Will Ferrell. This is the James Bond film with Daniel Craig, A Quantum of Solace. And then he would go on to direct World War Z, which I like. And with Chris Robin, he did a good job with the film. He did. And and I say Ewan McGregor, he was good as really wonderful as Christopher Robin. And you have Hayley Atwell, who now playing a Peggy Carter from the Marvel Universe, the agent who loved Captain America, Steve Rogers. She plays as Chris Robin's wife, and I said Jim Cummings is Winnie the Pooh once again, and they got a new voice cast of the other characters. Brad Garrett, who voices Eeyore, he's done stuff for live action films and mostly a lot of also voice animation as well. And other ones like Nick Mohammed as Piglet, Peter Cabali as Rabbit, Toby Jones, who I know, Toby Jones, he played Arnim Zola in the Marvel Universe. He played Dobby in Harry Potter. Recently started in Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom. He voices Owl. Sophie Alcanano as Kanga, Sarah Sheen as Rue. But they all do a good job as a voice of our characters of the 100 Acre Wood. And the film was given like mixed to mostly positive reception. It has a 7.7 IMDb, has a 70% Rotten Tomatoes, which I think for a film like Winnie the Pooh, that's kind of like a bit lower for a film on Rotten Tomatoes. Like from 2011, the Winnie the Pooh film from 2011, which I loved, that got like a high rating. I think it had like a 90% or I think on Rotten Tomatoes. But I don't know what, but this one it has like a 70%. And box office wise, It was kind of it was a disappointing opening that it got for me. Made like 22 million or 23 million, or I think it was 25 million on opening weekend because it came in second place behind the Mission Impossible Fallout, and it's been slowly climbing up domestically and worldwide. I was still kind of disappointed. I'm still a little bit disappointed how it's performing though. I expected a bit more, but it's like it's not on the same level like Beauty and the Beast, The Jungle Book, or Cinderella or Maleficent. It's not on the same level as those. I know that. Even Pete's Dragon from 2016, that it's made about 140 some million worldwide, and it's not because first of all, not too many people talk about Pete's Dragon from the original one, so that's the reason why the film didn't make that amount of money like all the other ones have, and so is this one. Even though Winnie the Pooh is much more popular than Pete's Dragon, but I'm still I'm still a tad bit disappointed with how the film was performed. Even though it's been slowly climbing up, though, it's made currently almost 90 million domestically, worldwide about 135 million, but it's still climbing up. But anyway, but more on that though. But anyway, getting to our story, it opens up with our friends, our gang in the 100 Acre Wood, and they're giving like a go away, a farewell party for Christopher Robin, and Chris Robin when he was a boy. Um, they're all gathered around the table. Eeyore gives a little speech, and it was our characters. The other thing is that our characters still be themselves, especially Jim Cummings as Winnie the Pooh. He still captures how Pooh is, the way he talks and how the way he thinks. Because, like I said, he's the bearer of very little brains, and how the way he is, Jim Cummings still captures the character of Winnie the Pooh. Still, it's like I've always get to where I am from walking away from where I've been. So after a little party with Christopher Robin, he goes and talks with Pooh over on the little spot they have, like overlooking the horizon. And Pooh's asking, what will happen if you forget me? And Christopher says, I won't forget you, Pooh. Not even until I'm 100. And Pooh's like, how old will I be? 99. And it's like I said, it's like how especially because it's just like connecting with how the kid is with Pooh, and it's like with me, growing up, I loved Winnie the Pooh. It's just very special, and I felt like the same how special Pooh was. But then all this changes when he was sent when Chris Robin got sent up to boarding school, and you know and over time when he's grown up to be Ewan McGregor now as older Christopher Robin, and just says it was getting a little bit sad because Pooh, he's out there time or this course of him being grown up. Pooh is standing outside the door where Christopher Robin enters to the 100 Acre Wood. He's just standing there waiting for Christopher Robin, but he never came back. And time when Ewan McGregor, now is Christopher Robin, where he meets Hayley Atwell, his wife, Evelyn, and then he went to the war. Where was it during World War II? And when he came back, he has the daughter Madeline, and he goes to work to this luggage company named Winslow, and he's now become obsessed with work. He has no time for his family anymore. It's like I think I said when the first season came out. It's like they take on play on from Hook from 1990. Steven Spielberg's Hook, like Peter Pan. It's like with Peter Pan, with the Robin Williams who plays Peter Pan. It's like the same thing with that. But honestly, did not care for it. It's not like not because I like the actors. A lot of good actors in that, like Robin Williams, Dustin Hoffman, Julie Roberts, Bob Hoskins. The actors were fine, but I honestly just didn't care for. It's one of the few Steven Spielberg films I didn't care for, but the whole concept, of losing all sense of imagination until your characters re-enter your life, it's like this. But I thought this did much more better than Hook. But that's just me though. And with it, at his work, his boss Winslow tells that he needs to cut more costs down, so we have to like get rid of more staff, and he has to stay. And he was going to go away with his family for the weekend, but he's forced to stay for work. And even the guy says he'll help out as well. And he has to tell his wife, and he's not going to go. So they're not kind of happy. They're leaving without him. So as they leave, so he's does more of his work on his own. And back with Winnie the Pooh at his house, it's actually like they still keep the stuff like because this is what stuff the Pooh does. He like talks to himself with the reflection of the mirror, and he's doing a stopless exercise, and he even sings it up, down, touch the ground. It puts me in the mood. I still like they still kept him singing that. But he can't find where all of his friends are, so he goes to the door where Chris Robin came from, but the door opens on its own, so he goes through. He's in London, but he sits on a bench. If he finds a bench, he still lays down a bit, and when Chris Robin, he sees like his next door neighbor, because the next door neighbor has been pestering about playing a card game with him. So he tries to hide from the guy, walks into the park with a bench. He's like, what, like in the trailer, what to do. And then Pooh says, what to do indeed. Then Chris Robin is shocked to see Pooh, still. He's like, Pooh? Christopher Robin. Like I said, it's Jim Cummings. He's just, once again, phenomenal as Winnie the Pooh. He's done countless voice works on a lot of shows, but to me, probably a lot of people will point out his most iconic voice role is playing as Pooh. And he still just does phenomenal once again as playing Winnie the Pooh. And Chris Robin was like, no! I've cracked. I'm just, working too hard. And Pooh's like, yeah. He's like, I've cracked. He's like, oh, I don't see any cracks. A few wrinkles, maybe. And tells him where he came from. But it's like, but where the 100 Woods, like in the country, not here in London. I suppose that's where it needs to be. And the neighbor, he hides Pooh from his neighbor because he's a talking stuffed animal. And then he gives him some honey, and he's like covered in honey, and he's like walking on the carpet, basically getting stuck in. And then one of those things for the big thing for the record player. What I forget what the thing is called, but the thing for the place for the record player falls on his head. And this is Pooh, being Pooh, and they tucks him in, and the next morning he wakes up and Pooh's making a mess on the shelves, and he's gonna take Pooh to the countryside to go to the 100 Acre Wood. So he's gonna take a train ride. Because Pooh he hasn't been anywhere else, so he's all being in London, seeing all the grown ups, all familiar. It's like, where's he doesn't know about grown-ups and all that stuff. So, and Ewan McGregor is telling you can't talk, people will see you. So like, I know, play nap, play nap time, just like pretend play nap time is like just be silent, be like an ordinary teddy bear. So you get the train station, and he wants a balloon, the red balloon. There was a thing. Even from the 2011 animated movie, Chris Robin had a red balloon with him, so that's why they picked with the red balloon. And they get on the train, and the balloon didn't fuzz away. It's caught on the door, but it rides all the way there. And while Chris Robin's trying to get his work done, Pooh's he's saying stuff like what's going past, like tree, house or grass, or and Ewan McGregor's telling him to say a little more quiet, and he's like, house, like much more simple. So he gets there, he tries to sneak past where his wife and daughter are at, and to the tree where at least the 100 Acre Wood, and he says goodbye to Pooh, but he's like, you know what? He goes in after him. He's like, and he gets like, have you just eaten honey? and so he's in the 100-acre wood, and then he hears like noises, like because Pooh thinks it's a heffalump, and Ewan McGregor, because he's older, he's like, there's no such thing as heffalumps and woozles and all that stuff, and he gives him a compass, for directions. And they've been going around in circles, and he shouts at Pooh, and then he disappears, and then he hears the noise, thinking it's a heffalump, and he falls down a hole that he built. It was like a trap for heffalumps. And he tries to climb up, but he falls, he gets knocked unconscious, has a little hallucination, a dream of a hallucination of a heffalump. And he goes on the wooden bridge where he went with Pooh, they drop sticks in the river. And then there's Eeyore just floating down the river. And, which, Eeyore thinks, because he doesn't recognize Chris Robin as a grown-up, so he thinks he's a heffalump. He goes into the river, because when he jumps in the river, it's not deep at all. And saves Eeyore. But he thinks he's a heffalump still. He wants to go and find his other friends. They find Owl's house toppled over, because that's the thing, in the cartoons, do like high winds, Owl's house sometimes always topples over. And they find that the sound was one of those things that spins around when the wind pushes it around for like the directions and all that stuff. It was one of the things making a very creaky sound that sounds like a heffalump. So they have to wonder where they all went, and they follow a trail of acorns because Piglet likes acorns. So he finds Piglet, he runs and leads him to the rest of them, which they all think he's a heffalump. They don't think he's Christopher Robin. So he takes Eeyore, sets him down, and he pretends he's fighting a heffalump. And pretends it has a little make-believe fight with a heffalump, and Eeyore is like, Christopher Robin, it's you, playing again. And he defeats the heffalump, and they all like, oh, it's Christopher Robin. You've grown up. And wonder where Pooh is, and they find out where he's at the spot where they sit looking at the horizon. And he says he's sorry, and then hug. It's just like a little, like I said, when he hugs Pooh, I just felt that because like I said, Pooh is special to me, and so I kind of felt like that as well. It did. And he falls asleep, and he has to hurry up and get back to his, get back to London, and then he gets caught by his wife and daughter. He says he still has to go back to work to London, and Madeline gets mad, but Hayley Atwell tells her that what, you go ahead and play, and first of all, he says like, it's hard to imagine your father as a child, because wonders if his father was ever like that as a child, and he tells her to go out and play. And back at the 100-acre wood, Tigger, he swapped out some like his important he swapped out Christopher's important papers for work for some stuff he added in himself. So they have to get back they have to go to London to get the papers back to Christopher, because otherwise the Woozle will eat him. Woozle is in for his boss, Winslow. And so they get this. So it's only Piglet, Tigger, Pooh, and Eeyore that go, because like in the poster it's only them. So no rabbit or owl or kangaroo, they stay behind. So they go through the door once again, and they meet with Madeline. It's like, you're talking. You're the bear of my father's drawings. So, and then you get and then it made me smile when asking about Tigger. It's like, what are you? Well, I'm a Tigger. T-I-G-G-R. That spells Tigger. And then he started singing his song, which it made me smile. I was like, woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. The wonderful thing about Tiggers. This thing's a wonderful thing. The tops are made of rubber. The bottoms are made of spring. The bouncy, trouncy, fancy, fancy, fun, 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 fun. The wonderful things about Tiggers. I'm the only one. I'm the only one. That made me smile, because this is classic as well. So she takes all of them. They ride to get to the train station, board the train to London. When they get there, Hayley, her mom finds out where she's gone. Finds a note where she's gone to. then as soon as they get to London, she gets in a cab, and Tigger, he sees a reflection of himself, but he thinks it's another Tigger. Ooh, that imposter. He's an imposter, and the cab driver, he's causing attention to the cab driver, sees and they're all talking, makes him crash into newspapers, and the cop comes and is like, oh, okay, sure, they'll blame the little girl and all that stuff, and when they get to this, a vehicle to the company, and they see they all see, Pooh talking, it's like, did you see what I saw? Yeah, they know, we didn't see it, was a talking bear, all that stuff. So, and back at where with Christopher Robin, he's getting ready to present his presentation, for cutting more costs down, and but he finds that Tigger swapped all of his important papers with other stuff, like even in the packet has Eeyore's tail in there and some sticks and other stuff, and then with Madeline, it was with Pooh in the one trunk, and Tigger, Piglet, and Eeyore are in another truck, and the lid closes on Tigger's tails, or bounce it out. They fall out, and Ewan McGregor tells about just know that his wife is there. What happened? She gets in the car with him, and she tells him all about his friends. First, she doesn't believe because like they're all make believe and all that stuff, until Tigger, Eeyore, Piglet on their windshield. And she's like, she couldn't believe what she was seeing. Tells them where they're headed, and when she and Pooh gets there, she falls, and then his papers fly away in the wind, except for one piece of paper. And Ewan McGregor's there, tells because Pooh told Madeline that she means the world to him, even though he's been working so much, she still means the world to him. So he doesn't send her off to boarding school too either. So it's happy about that, and everyone's reunited, and then he looks to get an idea of what on one piece of paper that he has, and tells them that what we need to do is nothing by reducing reducing the prices of the luggage. So giving the employees more paid holidays, paying to go on vacation and stuff, and selling luggage to everyday people, especially for the wealthy and all that stuff, for going on vacations and stuff like that. And then the Winslow, because his father is there to be there on the presentation, and he asks what his son, what was he doing the whole time on that weekend, playing golf. Because Ewan McGregor saw that he had golf clubs and a golf ball falls out of his pocket. So, and all the staff, they're not fired, on vacations, and Ewan McGregor's gonna spend more time with his family now, and he pins Eeyore's tail back on, and then Winslow Jr., I would say, he noticed that Eeyore was staring at him. He's like, that donkey was staring at me. And then his father was like, now you're the one who's losing your marbles. You're the woozle. And so now with Ewan McGregor and his family, they all go to the 100 Acre Wood, have a picnic, and then with Christopher Robin, Pooh on their usual spot, and he's like, silly old bear. And then during the credits, like Chris Robin's employees, they're all on the beach, and you have the guy named Richard M. Sherman who sings a song. He's been like this. He's been singing stuff for like decades, and he's there singing something, busy doing nothing. And then when the camera points to Pooh, Piglet, Eeyore, and Tigger sitting on the beach, and then of course Eeyore says one of his classic lines, "Thanks for noticing me." So, yeah, Christopher Robin, I love the movie. I would say it was probably my favorite film of this year. Because, like I said, Winnie the Pooh was very special to me growing up. One of my favorite childhood things I loved. Um, it just watching it just brings me back so many things I loved growing up. For watching Winnie the Pooh during my childhood, and I show you I've said when I did my trailer reaction on Chris Robin. I've seen the dolls that I have because they mean something. So and like I said, so I just love the film. Ewan McGregor, he did a good job as Christopher Robin. Hayley Atwell, she was fine too, and the little girl who played the daughter Madeline, um, she was I thought she was alright. I thought she was like sweet, and I don't think she was not that annoying. I think she was like sweet, and as for like I said before, Jim Cummings once again top notch as Winnie the Pooh. Um, the one who voiced Tigger. Um, no wait, no he did. No, he did voice Tigger. That was my mistake. Because for a second, for like a while back, there was someone else who was voicing Tigger. No, he still did voice Tigger. I guess it must have changed because like I said, Wikipedia is on right on everything, so so he still did voice Tigger. So I'm glad that because a while back they were having somebody else to voice Tigger. And no, so he not only did a good job voicing Winnie the Pooh, he also did a good job voicing Tigger still. That was my mistake because, like I said, they're not always writing everything. So I'm glad they still voiced Tigger. Um, but so he did once again top notch as Pooh, and once again well done as Tigger. The other ones, the supporting ones for Brad Garrett as Eeyore, Toby Jones Owl, Sophie Okonodo Kanga, Peter Capaldi Rabbit, Nick Mohammed as Piglet, Sarah Sheen as Rue. They all do good. Even and I said this before that my brother he doesn't want to see the film because Pooh, he says Pooh looks creepy and Tigger looks old and scary looking. I said before, it's a live action adaptation, and they're supposed to be stuffed animals. How old they're supposed to look? Yeah, I saw the traditional animation where they're traditional animated, but if you put it on a live action spin on it, they had to look like stuffed animals. How else they're supposed to look like? Once again he's just full. He says the rest of them they all look fine, except he says that a rabbit and owl they're like realistic real animals, not looking like stuffed animals like Kangaroo or Eeyore, and the rest of them. Yeah, he complains about that too. But as he says, but not they all look fine except for Pooh and Tigger. Pooh looks creepy, and Tigger looks old and scary. What can I say? Once again, this is more nonsense my brother talks. So yeah, I said before when I did the trailer reaction. So once again, he's just full of himself. But I love the film. It just instantly took me back years back. The characters, they're still being themselves. Ewan McGregor is as an older Chris Robin, because he's grown up, is losing. Like he said, he doesn't believe in Heffluffs and Woozles, his old car, being an adult. Because when you're a kid, you manage it all stuff, but then you let go of all stuff. Like in the scene where before he shouted at Pooh's like, "So, you let me go too?" And Chris Robin says, I guess I did. Let go of his childhood stuff. So, it's like time to put toys away and act like an adult. So that's what the thing is about part of growing up, but you still tend to keep some of those childhood stuff with you. Part of let's say the whole thing about growing up. But Ewan McGregor did a good job as Christopher Robin. I think he played a nice interpretation of Christopher Robin. It was nice to hear the Pooh singing his exercise song, and Tigger as well. Made me bring a smile to my face. The music, music. There was two people who did the music and pronounced their names. Probably like Joff Zendali and John Braun mispronounced their names, but I like the score was fine. Pacing was only hour and 40 some minutes. It was fine. It wasn't. I don't think it was not that slow. But I was a tad bit disappointed how it was in its opening weekend, how it was progressing so far. Like I said, I don't expect the box office like the same level as the other ones have though. But for film, it's like on the same level as Pete's Dragon. But Pooh is much more better character to me than Pete's Dragon because Pete's Dragon, I still haven't reviewed those though, but Pete's Dragon is like so many that people have forgotten. Like, well, I'm talking about the original. Even though the film from 2016, critical and box office wise, got the pass, but I still Winnie the Pooh is much better character to me than Pete's Dragon. But yeah, but I still love the film. So I'm more I could say cast. So the characters are still being such a Pooh and the others are still as themselves. Jim Cummings, like I said, I don't know how much more I could praise for Jim Cummings as Pooh, as well as Tigger. But I'm glad. Oh yeah, I forgot about Alice in Wonderland. That's one of the live action films, Disney films I did not like. I did not like Tim Burton's Alice in Wonderland. This is much better. I find it's much better than Alice in Wonderland. I think I will like this better than Cinderella and Maleficent. I think. Yeah. But definitely much better than Alice in Wonderland. Ewan McGregor as Chris Robin is much better. As Christopher Robin, he's much better than Johnny Depp as Mad Hatter. Definitely. But yeah, Chris Robin, just Winnie the Pooh just took me back so many. So that's why I would say it's my favorite film this year. Like I said, Winnie the Pooh was special for me growing up. So yeah, Christopher Robin, I definitely love the film. But yeah, so I can't wait to pick it up on DVD. Can't wait to. And I'll have to review some other Winnie the Pooh films further down the road. But yeah. But thanks for watching. Stay tuned on the next movie review. Later.